Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cali LaVeo channel. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and do what you do to support the channel. Also, I do my car enthusiast stuff on my IG handle. It's Cali LaVeo. Go ahead and check out the content. It's been a minute since I did some car stuff. I've been caught up with work and everything. But as you know, last night's Super Bowl, number 58, was kind of similar to what happened back to the Super Bowl way back in 2004, 20 years ago, which was the same year that Alicia Keys and Usher released the My Boo song. What a song that was, being at the time I was in high school when that song was released, and it still sounds like new of today. Also, last night's performance, this was right at the moment where everybody felt that this was too intimate. But see, mind you, like I said, these two had a song that they performed together 20 years ago. They might have hooked up at a time or two. A lot of these celebrities hook up, people just don't know about it. I mean, flings, things happen. I mean, in the industry, that's part of being in the industry. You're going to sleep around with a lot of people, and that's okay. That's all right. A close-up of what she was wearing. Her husband, Swiss Beats, he said she was just stunning in that dress. She was stunning in that dress. But see, he's not complaining about how Usher was holding her. So if he doesn't have a problem with it, why do you? And the people that are most offended are non-married people. That's what's funny about it. That's what's funny about the whole thing. Anyway, let's go back to what they said about it, though. Here we go. So, here we go. Swiss Beats, everybody that knows him, well, his boo. The Grammy-winning rapper and husband to Alicia Keys celebrated his wife's 2024 Super Bowl performance, My Boo with Usher, at the halftime performance on Instagram the morning after the big game on February 11th, quieting the growing chatter that the choreography crossed a line. Yeah, it's all too familiar. During the sultry rendition, Usher and Keys were wrapped in each other's arms, lovingly touching each other throughout their performance, singing an ode to the original music video from 2004 that featured the same closeness. So basically, they were doing the same thing they did 20 years ago when they first recorded the music video to the song. So why is this an issue? The steamy interactions on football's biggest stage were flagged on social media. Wow. So basically, they took down all the videos already. Imagine hugging your wife like Usher hugged Alicia Keys, someone wrote on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. I think Alicia Keys should apologize for letting another man touch her like that. Get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all too damn petty. Understand that when you do this line of work, it's going to involve getting intimate and touching other people. Whether it's intentional or whether it's mistakenly. But if it's your job, you just do it and shut the hell up, right? Anyway, Swiss Beats praised his wife's performance and seemed to address the negative vibes in the post. Swiss Beats is a grown-ass man. Why would he respond to something that was part of a performance? Okay? And mind you, like I said, this was 20 years ago when they did this song together originally. They were a lot younger. And I believe they were both single at the time. So like I said, he probably did smash the cheeks back then, but whatever. He was like, y'all talking about the wrong damn thing. Y'all don't see that amazing dress covering the entire stadium, he wrote. She was looking good in that dress, I ain't gonna lie. Oh, whoops. I crossed the line. I didn't mean to go that far. So, wow, okay. Took me right to the Instagram page. It's not what I was trying to do. But anyway, we're going to go to this, though, which actually happened the same year. Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake.
While wardrobe malfunctions happen to famous people all the time, few are as highly publicized as Janet Jackson's during the 2004 Super Bowl halftime show. Sadly, that honest mistake cost the singer much more than a flawless performance. Most musicians who sing at the Super Bowl halftime show see a nice bump in attention and record sales after the gig. However, the reaction to pop legend Janet Jackson's performance in 2004 was not so beneficial to her career. The backlash to the incident of Justin Timberlake exposing her breast on stage and live TV hit her hard in both the short and long term. Of course, it wasn't supposed to go like that. The plan was that the move would only show her red bustier, but the idea was...
Yes, you got to understand, not everything is rehearsed with these live performances. Sometimes the directors are off key. Sometimes you have to act on your own. The director might tell you to wait. They might give you a line on the side. They might give you a hand down for you to start your action. Well, sometimes that gets out of place depending on what's going on. If it's a major scene and there's people all over the place on the stage, it's kind of hard to direct. So you end up acting on your own. And sometimes when we act on our own, it's the wrong thing, or it might accidentally offend everybody. But that's neither here or there.
Quickly hatched, and according to Esquire, it was never even rehearsed.
You immediately covered your breast because you didn't want to be exposed. If you'd wanted to be exposed, you wouldn't have covered it.
Exactly.
The incident did not please CBS CEO Les Moonves, who ordered Janet and Justin to give him a formal, in-person apology. Timberlake agreed and reportedly did as he was asked, but Jackson did not. Meanwhile, a racist and misogynistic America was stomping mad that a black woman forced it to see her pierced nipple for a split second, and people and institutions responded with hysterical overreactions. Radio stations refused to play her new album. Her appearance at the Grammy Awards a week after the show was held hostage from her by Moonves, who said she and Timberlake could only perform if they apologized on air. Once again, Jackson refused, and so he blocked her from appearing. Sadly, that night at the Super Bowl would go on to negatively affect Jackson's career for years to come, even after the general public lost interest and moved on. While Justin Timberlake received very little flack for the wardrobe malfunction incident, IndieWire reports that Jackson was stigmatized from that moment on. Timberlake has gone on to win several Grammys since 2004, but Jackson's Grammy wins stopped in 2001, though she released albums in 2004, 2006, 2008, and 2015. Her 2015 album, Unbreakable, did make it to #1 for 1 week on the Billboard chart, but the album Jackson released in 2004, Damita Jo, was her worst-selling record since 1984. Clear Channel also banned all of her videos and hit songs from being played on their myriad TV and radio stations in the aftermath. However, Timberlake continued to make chart-topping albums and singles and even played the Super Bowl halftime show again in 2018. He also became a favorite guest on Saturday Night Live, where some of his sketches became cultural sensations. Although she didn't feel like she had anything to be sorry for, Jackson had to organize a whole tour just to apologize for the incident. The public did not easily welcome her words, and many decided they were not enough to absolve her of her sin against the country's puritanical ideals. A biopic of her life that was in the works at the time was unfortunately canceled, and she had to deal with being the focal point of a congressional debate about indecency on TV. Ironically, Moonves and many of the other men who judged her or determined the fate of her career were later accused of sexual harassment when the Me Too movement took off. Moonves resigned over the accusations against him in 2018. Janet Jackson received what could be viewed as a consolation prize by the music industry when she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2019, but that honor could not bring back all the opportunities she unjustly lost as a result of that fateful night in 2004. In 2022, Jackson produced the documentary Janet Jackson so that she could tell her own story. In it, she said that she essentially green-lighted Timberlake to keep his head down about the situation. She explained that the two spoke as the media storm was raging, and Timberlake expressed that he was unsure whether or not he should speak out.
I said, listen, I don't want any drama for you. They're aiming all of this at me. So I said, if I were you, I wouldn't say anything.
He took that suggestion to heart. At the 2004 Grammys, where both he and Jackson were slated to perform, Timberlake sang, danced, and won 2 Grammys while Jackson was barred. He used his acceptance speech to apologize without taking any real responsibility, saying, "I know it's been a rough week on everybody. What occurred was unintentional, completely regrettable, and I apologize if you guys are offended." In 2021, however, Timberlake apologized directly to Jackson on Instagram, saying, "I understand that I fell short in these moments, and in many others, and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism."
Wow, that's crazy. So they even went into racism with it, which had nothing to do with it, but okay. So you get what happened here. Like I said, everything's not rehearsed. I'm in the industry myself, I know this, so sometimes you have to kind of act on your own, but yeah, that's crazy. So basically, have you noticed that right after that 2004 incident, that's when her career just went, And then later on, the next year, she hooked up with Jermaine Dupri and then ended up marrying him because she thought that he would be able to save her career, which they argued, and he was unable to save her and rescue her and, you know, keep her career afloat. So she went downhill ever since. That's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, this is Kai DeBayo. Thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, and you know what to do. Hit the notification bell. Catch you on the next video. Peace.